Hello everybody, today we are going to talk about the Jeep Gladiator. Now, all of you are probably thinking this is just a utility version of the Jeep Wrangler. You know what? You guys are right, but at the same time you guys are absolutely wrong. Let's talk about why you guys are right. You guys are right because yes, it does have the likes of the Jeep Wrangler and it is entirely probably based on the same platform and same looks as the Jeep Wrangler, and they probably share the same history too. However, you guys are also wrong because they do have a bit of a different history. Here's how the Wrangler goes. The Jeep Wrangler had a consistent history because first it was the Willys Jeep, then you had the Jeep CJ if I'm correct, and then also you had the Jeep Wrangler that first came out in the late 90s or 2000s if I'm right, and then you had the second generation, and then you have the current generation. However, for the Jeep Gladiator, it wasn't the same history entirely. It started life out as a pickup version of the Willys Jeep, and then as years progressed, in the 1960s and in the mid-60s or somewhere around that time, Jeep introduced the first ever Gladiator. Now, here's how you can picture the Jeep Gladiator of that time. Imagine the Jeep Wagoneer, but a pickup version of the Jeep Wagoneer. Now guys, I don't know what you guys are thinking, but I personally think the Gladiator of that time looked epic. It was beautiful. I love the design. And in fact, unlike most American pickup trucks of that time, the Jeep pickup was actually aesthetically appealing. However, the Gladiator was short-lived, surprisingly. I don't know how and I don't know why, but it was short-lived. It didn't survive for very long. But then as years progressed, Jeep came up with a Jeep Comanche. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, please excuse me, which was a successful pickup in its own segment in the North American market, although it didn't see much fame elsewhere in the world, at least not here in Europe. However, in 2019, Jeep went back in history to bring something it forgot, and this is the Jeep Gladiator. This Jeep Gladiator costs 72,000 euros. Is this good value for money or not? Well, we are going to determine this in a moment, everyone. Let's get down with this review right now. This Jeep Gladiator comes with a 3-liter V6 engine. Now, guys, I know what you guys are thinking, that's quite a big engine, but not to worry, this engine is worth it. It's good for off-roading, gives it more power, plus, if you're not off-roading, you could be using it for utility purposes. And this engine is suited for the duty. Plus, it's a diesel engine, so road trips, anyone? If there's anything I'd like to point out is that this bonnet is rather heavy, and it took me 1 minute to figure out that the strut was actually onto the bonnet rather than lying down over there like in most cars I've seen who have manual struts. Now this is not a big deal, but it's just something you have to get used to. So now, like the Jeep Wrangler, you get these 2 latches to open the hood. There's no button in the interior, no lever you have to pull. It's all manual from the front, guys. Obviously, most of you will be thinking it has a lot in common with the Jeep Wrangler, which indeed you guys are correct. It does have a lot of traits with the Jeep Wrangler. You may be thinking there's not much comparison, but actually, as a matter of fact, I do feel there's a bit of comparison, and I think the comparison goes right at the front here, guys. But there's a more utility pickup vibe about it. There's this American pickup truck vibe about this front. if you know what I mean. Like, especially with this grille up here. The signature design of Jeep, guys. I mean, look at it. This front is really old school and I absolutely love it. It never changes with Jeep. And this is something I really respect them for, guys. And also look at this nice headlight. I like this horizontal line over here. And also you get this circle design around it. Very, very good. And you get your fog lights isolated all the way down there. Very good. These have to be one of the longest bumpers I've ever seen. It's very good. And actually it has a purpose. And the purpose is when off-roading, it's supposed to be... I think it's supposed to separate the water from entering the engine, from touching the grill. It's supposed to prevent the water. I'm not sure. I'm really not entirely sure, guys. But I really like the design here. Oh, it's like a boat. It's like literally a boat, guys. Of course, you get a proud Jeep logo right here, and it's written Gladiator, and you get a symbol of a Willys Jeep. Very interesting, guys. And trail rated 4x4. Ooh. Okay. And also, speaking of the body design, I also like the color as well. The color is very good. It's a military green, I think. But this particular military green looks very good with this Jeep Gladiator because it's not matte green. It looks... it's normal green, so this is even better. Because matte green can also pair well with the Jeep Gladiator, although I don't know if they offer it as option. But whether it's offered or not, that doesn't matter. What matters is the color is amazing. If you look at the rear of this Jeep Gladiator, this is where everything starts to shine. This is where you think, wow, oh my goodness, this is the Jeep Gladiator indeed. The rear portion of the Jeep Gladiator looks absolutely nothing like its Wrangler sibling. The Jeep Gladiator rear looks very much like its great-grandfather from the 1970s. And look at this, guys. Look at this. Just look at this. This is absolutely stunning. I love this, guys. I absolutely love this. This Jeep Gladiator comes with a nice bed cover for the rear. The fuel cap to refuel your diesel is right here, guys. And you even get the AdBlue refill right there. You guys get keyless entry and heated mirrors. Now that sounds very premium, very good. Although expected for a price of 72,000 euros. So surprisingly, one thing I've noticed is that there's a very good advantage I'm going to point out right now. You get this hard plastic over here, and as I've stated, on many cars it saves a lot of money. However, aesthetically speaking, it seems like Jeep has done a very good job with the hard plastic right here. They didn't make it too conspicuous. They didn't make it too obvious. You know, when I first laid eyes on the Jeep Gladiator, I didn't even know these hard plastic were present. I'm going to point out another prominent advantage. Look very carefully at the edge of this hard plastic. You do notice it extends right here. It's a bit pointy. This is even better because it acts as a flap. It prevents the mud from splashing over the bodyworks and over your window especially. So this is a sort of extra protection. Now this is better. This is very good, guys. I like this. They have done it in a fashion where it blends with the design. Now the design of the wheel is actually very rich in identity because Jeep did this sort of design of the wheel for a very long time. And I think it started with the Jeep Comanche. I'm not really sure. But one thing I do know for sure is that the Jeep Grand Cherokee had a similar design, and so did the Jeep Cherokee. I also like how the wheel has a sort of two-tone color to it. And in the sense, if you look over here, it's got a dark tone to it. Very good. And on the side of the rim, it's a lighter tone. Now that actually looks quite appealing. Like from a distance, at night especially, you would be able to tell the difference, and that's amazing. Another thing worth mentioning about this Jeep Gladiator is that you don't get drum brakes for the rear brakes. You get disc brakes. Now that's very interesting. The first questionable aspect I'd like to point out is that for a price of 72,000 euros, you don't get hydraulic struts. You only get manual struts. Now I know Jeep wants to play it old school. They don't want to play too much with hydraulics and such, which is something I can respect. I find the camera right here a bit conspicuous. It's as if it was an afterthought. It would be better if the camera was isolated, like maybe in the corner right here, or maybe right here. or perhaps, you know, somewhere else. It's a beautiful grille, isn't it? Oh wow! Except the thing that's not so beautiful about it is that it's not even a grille, guys. This is not even an air intake. This is just plastic. It's fake, guys, if you look closely. See, there's absolutely no air intake at all. So I just wonder what is its purpose actually. And the same story goes on the side over here. I was thinking this was supposed to be some sort of snorkel or so, but it turns out this is just it's just fake plastic that has no purpose. Another recurring flaw I've noticed about the exterior of this Jeep Gladiator is that the rear is very nice. Don't get me wrong, okay? I was very impressed. But for some reason I find this rear camera of the Jeep Gladiator a bit too conspicuous. They kept it right here in the middle. I think it would have been better if they blended it with the design, like maybe put it right here or maybe underneath right here, you know, somewhere non-conspicuous. Climbing inside is like climbing upstairs a bit. This little pocket in the door doubles as your door handle. Very good. And it's easy to pull, and also I like the leather feel on it. And I don't know what is the purpose of this bit underneath right here. It's oh, over here you get squidgy plastic, everyone. That's nice. So it's not it's not hard plastic everywhere. It's actually got squidgy plastic in some places. Very good actually. And also another advantage is that it's still easy to clean. So this is the interior of the Jeep Gladiator. Now it has a lot in common with the Jeep Wrangler actually, if you think about it. All the climate controls are right here. And I like how over here you have some driving controls, and including the traction control right there. And you have the window buttons over here, so in the center, instead of having them over there. But the reason why the window buttons are all the way in the center is because, you see, when the doors are stripped off, the buttons will remain there, so that's a plus. Over here, where it's written media, you actually get USB connections and also some other connections. Very good. And it's actually quite cute how they write it under media. Over here you get a 12-volt socket. There now you get two levers. This lever is for your transmission, guys, and this has to be like one of the most interesting design I've seen. Quite nice. And also you get this nice symbol here of the Willys Jeep. Interesting. And then over here the second lever is for your four-wheel drive control. On the steering wheel you get the cruise control right here, and the media control is right there. And also you guys get two stokes. Now I don't know if it's just me, but for a price of 72,000 euros, this has to be the first time I see very less details on the stokes, guys. I mean, look at it. Especially for the steering wheel, I just wonder why is there so less controls. It's not so busy as I would expect for a car of 72,000 euros. This is your infotainment system. Reminds me of a television from the 1990s, but it still looks good. I mean, and the reason why I say 1990s is because of the design around it, guys. Don't get me wrong. One thing I like is this handle right here for when the ride gets bumpy in off-roading. Nice door handle, which is so big. Nice. Although the metal feel is quite good as well. I like it. You get your center door lock button right there. Very nice. And also the mirror controls are isolated over there. And you get some extra lighting controls on the side right here, guys. Guys, you get two cup holders of fixed sizes. This is your center console storage. Oh, wait, hang on. It's too shallow, don't you think? Oh, wait. My apologies. Let me show you the deeper storage. Take a look at this, guys. Now this has to be one of the best center console storages I've ever seen. I mean, look at it. It's amazing. It's very deep, guys. However, in terms of equipment, I don't see a 12-volt socket in there. I do see a USB point there, though. Speaking of comfort, I really love the leather seat, guys. I mean, look at it. It's very, it's not very soft, but it's quite comfortable and, yeah. Whilst exploring this interior, I have to say I was very impressed, okay? I really like how Jeep has upheld its heritage, and they really stuck to their guns on that sense. But then I noticed some recurring flaws, and that is for a price of 72,000 euros, I'm under the impression there's just not much equipment, okay? The storage space over here, it's very slender, and also it's not very deep. It's a bit shallow, so it makes me wonder, my telephone can't go in there for sure, so where do I put my telephone? In the cup holder? And then for some reason over here, there's no extra storage, no purpose. It's just plastic over here. Okay. The infotainment system is good, okay? It's very nice to have an infotainment, and it should be expected for a price of 72,000 euros. It should be standard by then, but for some reason, for this size, it's a bit, it looks like a television from the 1990s, which is, well, it has its own appeal, okay? It's of selective tastes. This instrument cluster is nice, but it would have been more interesting if it was digital. This glove box is not so deep, and it's also rather shallow. I mean, look at it, guys. It's and it's also got a small door to it. Now, I guess this is normal for a off-roader pickup truck, and I've seen this in many off-roading SUVs and 4x4s, guys. They all have small practicality solutions like this glove box right here. But for a price of 72,000 euros, I would have expected a bit more. You get this as your door bin, a nice net. It's quite flexible, guys, so yes, but make sure you don't fill it up too much, or I'm not sure if you can fit a water bottle horizontally in there, because when you close the door closes very close to the driver's seat. Like, check this out. It's very close to the driver's seat, which leaves it a very narrow space for a water bottle or for many objects to be stored in there. Which is another questionable aspect in my opinion, because you see, I mean, so where am I supposed to put my things for storage then? It's like, yeah, they've dedicated this space to a speaker, which is expected for when all the doors are being stripped off. But in terms of practicality, it could have been better if it was extra storage maybe. But okay, selective taste again. This has to be one of the first times I don't see any lighting up here, guys. No lighting controls, nothing. The interior lights are only over here, but over there there's absolutely nothing. So it's one of the first times I've ever seen this on a price of 72,000 euros. Another questionable aspect I've also noticed is that for a price of 72,000 euros, for some reason you get manual seating adjustments only. You don't get electric seating adjustment. Okay, Now let's move to the rear seat of this Jeep Gladiator. This is the rear seat of the Jeep Gladiator, guys, and I have to say the seating is a bit on the firm side, but it's okay. It's not a big deal in my opinion. Over here I have a lot of leg room. I have a lot of knee room actually. It's like 1 kilometer away from the front seat. So not a big deal. And yeah, I think it's I'm actually feeling quite comfortable in the back seat. I get this nice armrest over here onto the door, and then if you desire some extra armrest, you get this that folds down. Wow, you actually get a nice armrest right here, guys. Guys, I also have a lot of headroom. For some reason, the rear passengers get a nice handle over here. It's better than the front door. It's got a longer pocket, I guess, over here. And also the feel is nice. You got the leather here and squidgy plastic on rear. As I've stated, guys, you see this black bit of the chassis right here? Well, actually, this is something that stays behind when you strip off the roof and the doors. And yes, it's actually quite nice. It should create a nice cabriolet-like experience. The lighting for the rear seats are right here, guys. All the way up there. It's shared with the front seat drivers and passenger. And you get your cup holders all the way down there as well. So 2 cup holders right here and 2 cup holders all the way down there. Okay, interesting. Why is the cup holder all the way down there? At least you get air vents over here though. I mean, check this out, guys. This is so cool. I was initially thinking these are cup holders, at least for shot glasses, because why not, guys? Whilst in the rear seat of this Jeep Gladiator, I also noticed something questionable, and that is the window buttons are right here, which is good. That's not the questionable part. But the questionable part is the way they are to be used. I mean, this is the first time I see windows being used like this. Like, usually most cars would have it like this, you know? Like, you either press the up button or the bottom button, or, you know, you pull it up or down. But here in this Jeep Gladiator, it's the other way around. Like, I don't know which one is up and which one's down. But yeah, it's like you have this little knob right here for the windows. Okay, interesting. But then also another questionable aspect is that you get nothing over here, guys. No climate control, nothing. No extra storage. It's just plastic over here. Okay, like I'm still wondering where does that 72,000 euro goes. For the EU market, this has to be the first time you get a pickup truck with rear windows that actually open. Quite nice. Very common in North America, but in Europe it's been a very long time since I've ever seen this on a pickup truck. Decent. Quite a good thing. Good job, Jeep. With this Jeep Gladiator, I'm going to show you all something very cool. And this is something I've never seen on any other pickup truck here in Belgium, especially for the rear door. Like, check this out. It opens by itself almost literally, and it opens at a steady, slow pace. Now this is very rare for a pickup truck. I've never seen this before, guys. This is very creative, very cool. I am very impressed. Good job, Jeep. I'm impressed with you. And then when you close the door, it's actually quite a pleasant sound, guys. You don't have to slam it closed. You can close it at a gentle pace, like this. The sound, the click, it's almost negligible, guys. You don't hear any click almost. It's silent. I mean, look at this. This has to be one of the softest close I've ever heard for a pickup truck rear door. The bed of your Jeep Gladiator pickup truck, guys, and I like the lining on it already. Good material right here, good for heavy duty. And you got a beacon of hope light right here. Very good for pickup trucks, especially in the dark. Very nice. And then also you get a tether point right here and some extra tether points right there, and then another right there. Very good, actually. I'm impressed, guys. I mean, for a price of 72,000 euros, this is actually quite valuable. I like it. So here's my conclusion about the Jeep Gladiator, guys. You are not buying this Jeep Gladiator for environmental values. You are not buying it for the status, although the price tag implies that. You are buying the Jeep Gladiator for its off-roading capabilities, and also, unlike the Jeep Wrangler, this Jeep Gladiator has some utility purposes too. This is an example of an American pickup truck that's not entirely based for utility purposes, but for off-roading and trails. Is this Jeep Gladiator a good value for money or not? You know what, guys? For a price of 72,000 euros, I have to say yes and no. Let's start with yes. Yes, it's good value for money because you are paying for identity, right? You are paying for something special. This is a niche. This is no ordinary 4x4, guys. This is not an A to B machine alone. This is a capable off-roader and a reputed off-roader. On the positive hand, I think it's great value for money also because you get to strip off the doors, or if you want to keep the doors, you can also strip off the roof and you get this nice cabriolet effect, and I absolutely love that, guys. I don't know about you all, but I think this is the coolest thing I've ever seen, and this is the best thing ever from Jeep, and I love this about the Jeep Gladiator. That too, I also love the design. Look at the wheels, look at the design overall. I mean, it's so beautiful, I love it. But on the other hand, I also feel like it's not that great value for money because when I sat inside the interior, I felt like some things were missing, okay? Something felt a bit under-equipped for a price of 72,000 euros. That too, you know, for a price of 72,000 euros, it had some things missing, like the seating adjustments were still manual. Okay, manual seating adjustments for a car of 72,000 euros. Okay, I'm gonna try understanding the logic behind that. Fair enough. But then also, the interior overall, like, you know, the size of the infotainment system, it looked like a television from the 90s. And also, yes, something about it felt a bit empty, like storage spaces were very, very questionable in my opinion. Yeah, almost very little practicality solutions inside. And also on the exterior, I still couldn't get over how this nice looking snorkel right here is actually fake. You want my opinion of this Jeep Gladiator? I love this Jeep Gladiator, guys. I really do. this Jeep Gladiator is amazing, and this has to be one of the first times that Fiat Chrysler have done something really cool, okay? I mean, think about it. Something that's so American brought here to Europe. Wow. But it would be amazing if there's a hybrid or electric version of the Jeep Gladiator that comes. Otherwise, this Jeep Gladiator is quite promising and rich in identity. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos that are on the run.